Hi, I'm Robert. Welcome back to another edition of the High Desert Ranch channel. It's officially spring, and in case you couldn't tell, I just want to let you know it is spring here. Spring in the high desert anyways, here at over 6,000 feet. So come along and join me today as I talk about not only what we are to expect here in springtime, which hints it's this white stuff behind me, but also I'm going to talk about the cost to keep your sow on an annual basis. We've already talked about the gilt, so you could essentially say this is part of our breeding stock series as well. So come along and join me. Let's get started and talk about those two things. As probably most of you have experienced, it's been an unusual winter, and especially here out west where we've been so stricken with drought conditions. It's really nice to to have all this precipitation, and in fact, we're set up for one of our record years here in the state of Utah, here specifically central Utah, where you can't see it, but those mountains up over yonder, they are just on flat, level ground, not even in the shade. The snow is pushing close to 12 feet right now, and so things are looking good. As you can see behind me, we received several more inches overnight. There's supposed to be storms that are going to continue, so things are looking good. Our only one problem is that we potentially face is flooding here. I talked to some of my uncles and some of the old timers that lived around here, and they've had similar conditions. It all just depends on Mother Nature. If it warms up way too fast, we could have some serious problems where there is substantial flooding, because some of these ditches and whatnot, they just won't be able to handle the flow if it comes off too soon. Now, 4 years ago, we had a very cool summer. We only hit 90 degrees once, and that was on Labor Day. So hopefully we have one of those summers, and we're already way ahead of schedule as far as the snowpack, but also having this type of snow way into March. And so we're here on the tail end of March, still receiving snow, still having cold temperatures, and we're way under the average high temperature. The hogs are starting to stir now here. They know it's going to be food time. So anyways, that's kind of one of the concerns that we have here is the flooding, mainly because the ground's so saturated. It's several feet of total saturation, which a lot of people, including my uncle who drills for a living, they haven't seen in his 35 years of drilling. So the conditions are ripe where if we do get a quick warm up, it could be really bad here. Obviously it's going to get warmer, it just has to, but it's all about the timing and what that means. So that being said, we'll do what we can here, try and keep the hogs happy as can be, given the conditions. It just it's the ground, like I say, the ground is completely saturated. The pens are they're just kind of a swampy mess. We're trying to keep them warm and dry as much as we can inside their sheds. So it's an interesting spring nonetheless here in the high desert. And for those of you that are new to the channel, I'm fifth generation trying to restart the family farm and family ranch. And so coming into one of the worst winters on record as far as precipitation and snow and cold, we're learning a lot here as far as wintering over hogs. We'll do a few things different for next winter, as far as bringing in some reject sand and things like that into some of these hog sheds, just to help keep the hogs dry, a lot more drier and more happier. So that being said, if you have any other questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. But I want to then now pivot to talking about the cost of a sow. Now, you can check out the other videos, my breeding stock series, where you'll see it kind of builds upon each other, or you can watch the cost of a first year gilt that I have, because there is going to be different costs. You typically hear on our with our hogs, we like to breed the gilt at 9 months. So by the time she has her piglet, she's just over a year old. That allows for larger sows, which means they'll typically have larger piglets, healthier piglets. They'll just have larger litter sizes too overall, if you're going with the heritage breed. That's what we have here. So that being said, check out that other one. I'll have a link in the description box below, and I'll also have a link here at the end of the video. So this is the cost of a sow once she's been bred for the first time. And here at the ranch, we like to do two breeding cycles a year. So every 6 months there's farrowing. And because the conditions here in the winter time, we like to actually do the have farrowing in April, May-ish, and then also then to have that happen in September. That way you eliminate all this cold, because as you can see behind me, we have close to 0-degree temperatures, below zero with the wind chill here even in March. So we don't even want to mess, because once you lose 1 or 2 piglets, there goes a lot of your profit, your hard efforts, and things like that as you're trying to sell or even just feed your family. So it's critical to keep your young livestock alive that's been born. So that's why we farrow when we do. It could vary, but anyways, we like to do a 6-month cycle. So that's what I'm basing this off of. And where you have a larger heritage breed sows, the costs are reflecting upon that too. So I'm going off the national average for feed right now for 14%. You're looking at $27 a hundredweight for, and I'll have this stuff put up there, $2,700 a hundredweight. And within a year's time of the sow and her breeding cycle and like farrowing and like littering some piglets, and I'm going off conservative estimate of 7 piglets per litter. So you'd be looking at 14 piglets total. And if you're wondering where I got the 2,700 pounds, you can also check out another video that I have. It's how much to feed your sows, or how much to feed your hog on a daily ration. I break out for feeder hogs, boar, sow, first year, gilt, things of that nature. So, but it's a fairly high cost just because the amount of feed required for her to provide milk. Hey guys, Robert here. Sorry, I had to. Nothing like gets in the way of making a ranching video like ranching. Plus, I'm a vain man, so I wanted to have a wardrobe change. Totally kidding. But really, I wanted to have a dramatic effect, so I waited for another snowstorm to come in, because that's exactly what happens here in the springtime. So I'm picking up where I left off. With the feed costs, that annual feed cost is going to be right around $729 if you're taking the average weight. And then you're going to have some medical costs. You're not necessarily going to have medical costs with the stock that you're topping out, but definitely with your breeding stock, you're going to have some costs associated with that. And so that being said, your medical costs, I would plan on for a sow right around $50 a year for your sow. And if you're going to be getting into the breeding stock, world of breeding stock, you're definitely going to have, or what you should count on is a depreciation cost for your breeding stock. And I went off the average and not only the cost, but then the lifetime of a good sow. You could usually get about 5 good years of breeding from a typical sow. And so you have your depreciation cost of $100 per year for your sow. And with that too, you're definitely going to have some housing costs associated with that as well. Let me turn around and give you. This is kind of a typical shed. This is a 3-sided shed. As you can see, it's sitting idle right now. But you're going to have to build you a good shed. When you're dealing with an animal that's several hundred pounds, they're powerful. As my grandfather said, they're like little bulldozers, these hogs. They're powerful, especially when you get a sow or if she gets worked up or something like that. You want to build you a good solid shed and some good solid housing, good solid fencing. Let me show you also too. So, as you can see, I've got posts every 4 feet in the ground, and every 4 feet, and they're in the ground about 3 to 4 feet, and they're solid. You're going to want that if you're going to be handling your breeding stock. So with that, I've got about $100 per year total cost, because there's going to be not only the initial cost of the housing, but then there's going to be the ongoing payment and maintenance, and there's just going to be that, especially if you're having several sows at a time. So I did $100. So what's your final cost per piglet going upon all these costs? if you add them all up, at 7 per litter, so you're having 14 per year per sow. You're looking at a total of right around $75 per piglet. So that's just something to keep in mind as you're excuse me, as you're looking to, is breeding stock right for you? Is this something that you want to pursue? So anyways, guys, that's about all I have for you today. I see that I'm over the 8-minute mark, so you know, I've met my quota to receive that that YouTube lucre. Just kidding. I gotta have some fun, right? But I appreciate you coming along today. Remember, you only get so many trips around the sun, so decide what it is you want to do today and get after it. And if anything, you look at these conditions right now, just remember next time where your food came from and what goes into your food and those that are behind it, making it all possible. And if you're asked to pay just a little more to buy local, just remember that it's guys like me, and even gals too, that day in, day out, come rain, sleet, or snow, we've got animals to take care of. And I hope this video is helpful. Please like, subscribe, share, and I'm gonna get to chores, and these guys have been patiently waiting for me, and before I know it, they're gonna be hopping over this fence and really giving me the business as far as what's up. So thanks for coming along, guys. I appreciate you coming along with me today and finding out just what it's like to live the high life here in the high desert of the Intermountain West, only on the High Desert Ranch channel. I love it, doing what cows do best: stare.